Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Open Mic Foundation. Thank you so much for joining. It is a Sunday afternoon in South Africa, and it is absolutely hot today, I must admit. So, thank you so much. Today is our last storyteller for 2021. And we decided to have an early end to all the storytelling this year. As Open Mic Foundation's birthday is on the 17th, which is on Wednesday next week, and we will be having a birthday celebration on Sunday. So there will be some snippets and some streams that will be coming through. So please pay attention to the social media. There will be a lot of footage coming through from that perspective. But today we're going to be focusing on Liza King. She's from Cape Town in South Africa. And Lisa is going to be talking about the boardroom to balance. And I think a lot of people that are in the corporate and also have, you can call it your side hustles, you can call it your projects, you can call it being an entrepreneur. We all have them. I myself can totally relate to it, absolutely for sure. I have quite a few things that I get busy with. So I just want to hand you over to Lisa. Let me just welcome her quickly and let's get the show. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. It's on Open Mic Foundation. Also, our Facebook page, which you are streaming right now. And then also, you will catch us on Instagram as well. So please follow and subscribe. Hello, Lisa. How are you doing?
Hello. Hi, Jackie. I'm doing so fine on this Sunday.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us from Cape Town this afternoon. I so
Such a
appreciate
pleasure.
you. I see we have Anna Marie that's on. Good afternoon, Anna Marie. Anna Marie is from Pretoria. She's been one of our storytellers and she's going to be featuring in our exhibition that we're hosting early next year. So, welcome everyone, and thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us.
It's such a pleasure, and I'm so looking forward to this session with you and to sharing my story. It's a nice, multi-layered, lots of different pathways and rabbit holes kind of story.
Yeah.
So essentially, I just want to bring across the point that it's never too late, to do anything.
Oh,
Never too late to start something new.
what a way to end
Yeah.
2021 with the
Yes.
story. And, when you told me about the story, I was like, absolutely, it's something that I think everybody needs to hear to also create some hope and belief for them in going into 2022. A lot of people plan, a lot of people do vision boards, a lot of people ask a lot of questions. So I'm hoping and I know that the story is going to inspire a lot of people to rethink and to reflect and to look at things in a different perspective. I was just so excited about this topic. So excited. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank
I'm
you.
just going to, I just want to show you this comment coming quickly.
Yes.
Have a look at the bottom.
Oh, fantastic. Yay, Marie.
I mean,
That's
who
awesome.
studies at the age of 58? I mean, gee whiz, I can't even get my head around that she's actually doing that.
Yeah, I only started studying at the age of 45. So there we go. So I want to take you back a few years. We are now in 2021. And 2015 is when I really kind of started my life. Let's put it that way. For most of my 20s and 30s, I struggled to get somewhere in life. I always started something, couldn't finish it, didn't know what I wanted. I had gone to university and dropped out immediately that year. I wasn't inspired to finish it. And by the age of like 45, I had worked myself up into a corporate, into a very large financial, from a financial services company to a pharmaceutical company. And throughout my years at the pharmaceutical company, I had progressed. I started as the rep carrying the bag, no degree or diploma to speak of, and just worked my way through experience. So everything that I did, I call myself somebody who's got a QBE. So that's qualified by experience, because I like to
Okay.
learn everything on the job, the hard way. Tenacious as anything, but I got there. So as a rep at this pharmaceutical company, I was then invited to join the marketing team, which was something I'd been aspiring to since matric. In fact, in my matric yearbook, I wrote, I want to be a singer and I want to do marketing. And that was at age 17 that I spoke that into being, but actually only at the age of 40 did I really bring that into my life, the singing and the marketing. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So my story is all about inspiring people who don't feel like they've got their, I call it their shit together at age 21, when everybody's throwing all these expectations at you to have your life cut out for you. It's okay. Go and experiment with everything that lights you up. Go and experiment, fail, pick yourself up and start again. Eventually you get where you want to go. You've just got to know what it is that you want to feel and what inspires you. So now I'm in the marketing department at this pharmaceutical company. It's got really big. It went from a 20 million rand a month kind of pharmaceutical company to a 1.5 billion rand crazy institution with wonderful people. So I must just add, now I'm stuck in corporate with amazing people and amazing salary. I used to call it the golden handcuffs. And thinking I have nowhere to go but up. And so I worked really, really hard to get myself up. And in 2015, I was working towards what we called an associate directorship at the company, because that meant you go to a pay grade that's just really awesome. And you get the feels and the thrills because now you're senior management. And so that's what I worked towards. And in 2016, I achieved that. As I achieved that, I realized if I stay there any longer, I'm going to die. Everything about my being, everything about my being was boxed, labeled. I wasn't really told what to do, but you are expected to play a part, like a big movie. And if you don't play that part, you definitely don't get the Oscar. And I wasn't getting the Oscar a lot of the times because I was the kind of person that would question everything, and also the kind of person that also started going into the alternative side of things. So now we had medicine on the one hand, alternative healing on the other. So I bumped into a bunch of people who were speaking a language that was very foreign to me. The language was all about energy and meridians and chakras and frequency. And I immediately resonated with it, and I went, well, I actually love this language that these people are speaking. And I went and inquired the very next day, because this happened to be on a Sunday. The very next day, I inquired with our local college for, it was eventually called kinesiology that I got to.
Okay.
And they were starting a course that week for the year. And it was also 5 minutes from my home. And it was also only once a month for a whole weekend. So as a mom of 5, a very busy corporate person, I took the plunge and I enrolled in something. I had no idea what it was going to be like, never having gone for an energy healing session, but just totally resonating with it. And the bottom line is I followed the thing that suddenly lit me up. And that's something that's become a theme all my life, is when something lights me up, I follow the path to see where it will take me. I'm not afraid to fail, because it will take me to the next path, the next path, the next path, and the next path. It's been such an exciting journey. So I start studying this wonderful, amazing modality, and 6 months go by and I'm just learning all about the theory around energy healing. And in the 6th month, the magic started. We started working on each other. And my life has changed ever since that. I cannot explain to you how I became instantly somebody that was closer to the true version of myself by working through my stuff, working through my traumas, realigning my energies. And suddenly I could not be in that corporate space anymore. But I had a problem because I was the main breadwinner of the family.
Yeah.
I had the pension, the medical aid, so many responsibilities, 5 children. At that point, my son was 3. And I just felt like my car was a prison cell because I was traveling to and from work every single day with my head in one space and my body in another. I went through all the corporate hoops. I jumped all the beautiful things that were required of me. I succeeded. I did really well at corporate. In the boardroom, I was an ace. I could explain anything. I could sell ice to an Eskimo, and I had all the directors on my side. But my head and my heart wasn't there. My physical body was there. And I started becoming ill. And in 1 year, I had 7 respiratory tract infections. And I knew that this place and this thing that I was engaged in was killing me. And so I gave myself a literal 9 months to make the change from corporate to a life that appeared to be more flowing. And so I was striving for multiple income streams, freedom, and just the ability to spend my time as I wished. Because remember now, I was traveling 1.5 hours to work every day, 1.5 hours back, not seeing my child of 3, and the change had to be made. So that was my decision in the January. So this is now 2017. And by September, the beautiful thing is that I took everybody on the journey with me. So everybody knew what my intention was. Even my boss, and they were all on my side. And so by September 2017, I was out of there. After 15
Wow.
years of heavy corporate, I was out of there and on my own. And what I
So,
did to make money was
so,
to,
so
yes.
let's pause one moment, right? I
Mm,
mean, I have been in corporate. It's 21 years now, so I can so relate to what you were saying. And
mm,
in the sense of you're the breadwinner, you have all the securities that's, upon yourself and your family.
mm.
What did it feel like letting go of that security? Because you're entering into a space,
Mm,
where there isn't that security that you felt for so many years.
mm. What I did was, in the 9 months that I had, I built myself a little fund. I called it my FU fund. Okay. Was
Okay, okay.
my safety net. And it was part of my pension, actually, that I put aside. Should I not meet my financial obligations in that month, I could draw from. So I had, you have to still be responsible. You can't make the change unless you have a beautiful financial plan, a what if you fund. So for anybody who's moving from corporate to a life where you are determining your own salary check every single month, it's very important to have that financial little safety net. Doesn't matter how small it is, but you've got to feel okay within your spirit about having
Yeah.
the safety net. I can tell you that in those 9 months that I had to rebirth my life, I woke up crying. I woke up with night sweats. I was terrified that I wouldn't make it. And when I look back now, I was more afraid of fear itself than the actual thing that could go wrong.
Yeah.
So you only learn by taking the plunge that you don't die the second you walk out of corporate. Yes, it's very tough financially, and yes, you have so many setbacks because now I went from having a IT division, an accounting division, other directors that made big high level decisions, and I had to be it all. And I did fail a lot, a lot, a lot. But that is the only way that I could get to where I am now, which is a thriving marketing and branding business, a thriving energy healing practice. And I've got various projects that I'm involved in, just like yourself, that light me up, that create a varied day for me to bring in multiple income streams. But it is probably one of the most scariest things I ever did. I went, well, what about my family? I have this huge responsibility. And the thing is, my husband played the most amazing supporting role in this journey for me. If it hadn't been for my support team, it would have been a different story. So it's really important to bring people on the journey with you, to let them see your vision, let them see your inspiration, because the more energy there is behind you creating this new reality, the more likelihood you have of reaching it. If you start to do everything alone and think that you need to do everything by yourself, it is exceptionally hard. It's a lot of pressure. So bring all your loved ones on your journey with you and celebrate every single little success you have. My first invoice that I wrote, I can just tell you something now. I love invoicing. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. I absolutely love it. So it wasn't from boardroom to balanced at all. It was from boardroom to very unbalanced in the very beginning, because it took me about 6 months to get out of the corporate mindset. So it was so deeply ingrained that I would be at my desk at 8 o'clock in the morning and would actually start panicking if I dropped my son off and then had to start work like at 9. That was like, whoa, no, I can't do that. It was about, work drafting, trying to get as much done in one day as possible. It was about sitting long hours, trying to formulate new plans, new directions, new income streams. But every single time I learned something new, and every single time I expanded in a way that I never thought I would. So it is about having the courage to take one step at a time, see where it leads you, make decisions based on the next step, and so on. It really wasn't easy. I would say that for 2 years, that corporate unchaining happened. And then also still trying to present something that you're not. So
Yeah.
Still sitting in that framework of, I must present myself a certain way to people, and I must not show any vulnerability, and I must be highly professional. And the thing is that only works for a little while, and then people stop resonating with your inauthenticity. So when you do step into your own business, you have to be authentically you. You have to be vulnerable. You have to show your true colors. When you say sorry from the depths of your heart. When you're excited, you share your excitement with your clients. Everything about you needs to be thoroughly authentic in order for you to gain success and for them to reuse your services and commit and share you to other people. So I went from a very high salary. My worst month in the following year was 7,000 Rand for the month. And I literally took the attitude of, well, it can't get any worse than this. It really can't. I've got options. I've got financial commitments, but I've got my safety net to fall back on. The thing is, I planned that for myself. And the practical magic around moving into a life that is more true towards yourself is that framework that needs to be put in place before you make your changes. Never burn your bridges and walk out in a huff. Take people on the journey with you always about where you want to be.
Yeah, so true. It's, the corporate mindset. I mean, myself being, I think I've been in 6 different industries over the past 21 years, right? I mean, it is the culture that gets ingrained in you over the years. It is quite a dynamic type of way of thinking. It's only you realize the type of thinking is when you step out of the space.
Yes.
And when I stepped out of it into an entrepreneur perspective, oh wow. It is a total different set of game that you are playing altogether. You cannot compare the two. And I think for myself, I mean, I can speak for myself, and I'm sure I don't know if you can relate to this. It is that very overwhelming feeling of thinking to yourself, this is what I've been doing for 21 years, and now I'm doing this. I mean, wow, it is, yes, you learn a lot in corporate, definitely for sure. You do learn, more than what you would have learned, from an entrepreneur. I think when you have the two together, it's absolutely magic.
I feel like my corporate experience was my school fees for the life that
Yes,
I'm living now.
yes.
And everything that I've learned from the hardest director. We had a director that was a very large personality with very clear intent about what he wanted, and if he didn't fit that, whoa, you were not
Yeah,
in the ray of the sunshine. When you were not in the ray of the sunshine, your life was a misery, a complete misery. But what I learned from him is never to take no for an answer. Never. There's always a way to do something. There's always a what if. There's always a way to think creatively, to find solutions. And that's what he taught me. And without having had him in my life, as many tears as I cried and as much anxiety that I had, I thank him over and over and over again. He actually
yeah,
passed away 2 months ago, and I went to his funeral, and it was one of my big transitions as well, thanking him for being so hard and so difficult and so not in my camp a lot of the time. But I understand now why I needed that, because it's given me a hairy chest. I was going to say something else, but I don't think it's appropriate. Yeah, it's given me so much confidence and chutzpah. Yeah.
yeah,
So all those things that I've learned, and I was very, very fortunate in being sent on senior leadership development programs and so on. So I take that with me into my business. And now I have a set of people that work with me that I'm coaching and mentoring all the time as well, so that they can also get to that point where they've had somebody guiding them, they've had somebody teaching them all the pitfalls, all the things that can go wrong, how to think creatively, etc., and to bring them into their perfect entrepreneurship as well. So everything that I've learned, I now pass on to other people as well. And yet now I've got this beautiful marketing and branding business. And I got to a point again where I thought, if I'm going to carry on doing this, I'm going to die. So every time I get that feeling about myself, if I carry on doing this, I'm going to die, I know that it's time for change. So my message to people out there is, if your life is incredibly uncomfortable and you refuse to make a change, it is going to stay uncomfortable. You have to make a change. Take one small step in the direction of the thing that lights you up, and things will fall into place. It's like the universe literally takes 10,000 steps towards you when you're prepared to take one step. You keep doing the same things over and over again, and your life remains uncomfortable. It is not the universe's fault. It is your
yeah.
own fault. You have to get uncomfortable to grow. You
It's a
cannot,
choice, right? It's a
yeah.
choice.
And really, from so much experience and from our clients' experience as well, it's not possible to grow in comfort.
Yeah,
So every time you feel struggle and discomfort, you can thank the heavens, because it's bringing you pearls and gifts
yeah,
to take forward. So I got to this point in my marketing business where I realized that once again, I'm starting to create a swirly whirly place for myself that I didn't feel I belonged anymore. Although I had a nice helicopter view of this business and where I wanted it to go, I didn't want to be involved in the nitty gritty of it. So I brought a few people on board to start farming out the work to them so they can get on with it. My business can carry on by itself without me like going, oh, well, I can't do that anymore. I need to move on to the next thing. And I've now immersed myself more into the mentorship side of who I am. I do a modality, or I perform a modality called human design, which is all about living your true blueprint, the energy imprints that you got for this lifetime. And when I discovered my own imprint, which is to step into a role model phase of my life at age 50, I once again veered my life towards being that role model for other people. So now in my energy healing business, I satisfy that role. I do life coaching, I do human design readings for people, I activate people into who they really are. My sole life purpose is being served, which is to strip the masks from other people, to strip all the facades, to strip the crap from your life and really step into who you are without feeling like you need to be something that you're not. Everybody resonates with an authentic individual. People have got a radar that tells them this person isn't being authentic. There's this thing called purpose and pure pose. Which one are you? Are you living your purpose or you are purely posing?
So I think over the pandemic that we've been experiencing and still are, I think we are much more exposed to authenticity, and people's true identities and true feelings and true emotions have been coming out, right? I've heard so much of divorce cases I've mentioned this before, so much of divorce cases have been happening because being with somebody that amount of time in a particular space, not on holiday, but at home, has triggered a lot of unsettling and questionable things to one another, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have been doing some reflection and inner work, for themselves. And I think the pandemic has brought that light for people to reflect on themselves. And when someone is not authentic, I mean, you can see it through people. It's just so obvious. Well, for me, it's obvious, but you can see it.
And then I just love taking them by the hand and going, come with me, girl. Come with me. We'll show you who you really are.
Yeah.
And that's
so true. So true.
That's what I love is when people start getting that niggle, that who am I? And they start with that activation, then I'm right there. I'm right there with you, and I'm going to help you uncover who you are, what you're meant to be doing, and what the best way forward for you is. So I'm truly living that purpose now, and I feel like I'm in balance. It did take me 4 years after leaving corporate to find this part of me, of who I really am. I had to still go through the shedding of the skins, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
After corporate life, you shed one skin, then a new one is exposed, you shed another one, you shed another one, you shed another one. And eventually you are standing there naked and afraid in front of people, and they love you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going forward, my new dream is to live that laptop life, which I'm literally about to step into. Is I've made a pact with myself that I want to work no more than 4 hours a day, that I want to survive on passive income, and I'm busy setting that up so that I can live a life where I am doing the things that I really enjoy. So I've stepped into creating. So creativity is kind of like, for me, a sign that you've reached success if you have the freedom and the time and the capacity to start really creating. So, when I first see clients who in a life stuck on a hamster wheel, because that's literally the kind of women that normally that I see, they're on hamster wheels, they don't know how to get off. And then I ask them, so if time, money and responsibility wasn't a thing, what would you be doing when you walk out the door? And they stare at me like, what? What do you mean? And I keep quiet then. I keep quiet and I wait for them to answer, because eventually there's a little flicker of a thought that comes, oh, wait, I'll be walking in the mountain. I'll be doing this or I'll be doing that. So eventually it does come through, but most people are stuck looping on what their current circumstances are, not stepping out of the circumstances and starting to imagine their new reality. You ain't going nowhere if you're stoking the current fire and not the fire that you want.
Yeah.
So it's very much, yeah.
So I must admit as well, I also have a lot of people come to me as well. And I think for me, Liz, I see the not only the stuckness, but the the thought behind that. There's no thinking, take away the partner, take away the family, take away the environment, and just leave you, right? Just you. And people don't see themselves. And that is for me the scary thing that I have discovered with a lot of people that have come forth to me, is that they don't see themselves. And I have this thing, when I see people for the first time, and when I leave them, and I kind of make them speechless to a sense, and I think you do that as well, right? And then I say to them at the end of everything, I say to them, I see you. And that acknowledgement of not seeing you without the labels, without the attachments, without the environment, without society and culture and labels that we put upon every single thing, we just don't see ourselves anymore. And that's scary because people have so much to offer, but have so much, they just don't see it. And it's quite a fascinating, I mean, when I stepped into it as well, I mean, it is quite fascinating to see how many people live like that, though.
Yes. And when they realize that they can make the change.
Yeah.
I love that.
I know, right? It's like the light goes on.
Yeah.
The light goes on, and it's like
Exactly.
beeping, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. So I run a course called Infinite Possibilities. I was taught by Mike Dooley, who of Hay House fame. I don't know if you know, but he actually was in The Secret as well. So he personally taught me a course called Infinite Possibilities, which is about being able to access your thoughts about what it is that you want and how to bring your reality into life, how to bring it forward, how to put it towards yourself, and all the things that you need to do in order to do that. And at one point in the program, I have what we call a future selfie party. So we are online normally because of, the world today is very small. So we all meet online rather than in person. And I ask them to dress up as if they are their future self in 5 years' time. The discomfort. I always laugh because you can be anything you want in 5 years' time, because trust me, whatever you're planning for in 5 years' time, it's going to be wildly different and probably 10,000 times better than what you expected. And but to see what it is when you ask them to think about themselves or their future imagined reality in 5 years' time, what that actually looks like for some people, it's remarkable. And then when you activate that into them, so now wear a prop, for instance. So when you embody that in the simplest possible way, even if you have a little label that says, I am so-and-so and so with, I am now a, whatever it is, it sparks something into motion to bring it closer to that person. So my sole job is to make sure that I get them to start thinking about what happens in the future, as I did. Like, what could my future look like? How do I know I've made it in this new life that I have? So I know that I've made it when I'm kayaking on the sea on a Friday morning or on a Wednesday morning, because I then have created a life for myself where I get to do the things that are beautiful for me. So it's just a wonderful position to be in, to help activate so many souls into that. And that's the part of my life that I really feel is all about balance. It's bringing balance to myself, balance to my family, and then balance to my clients. And ironically, what we do in kinesiology as well is called balancing. So we balance the body to future imagined realities. Yeah. So, what does balance actually look like? Balance is when you have a feeling of ease and flow, and you are creating versus adulting, and you have a good mix of pleasure as well as income generating, because you find you can find pleasure in income generating as well, especially with those invoices. Yes. And and so balance is not being short of breath, drinking enough water, being able to say no to things, being able to not always be in conflict situations, conflict with yourself, conflict with other people, being able to stop and be kind to yourself. That's what balance looks like. Balance looks like being able to sit at a tree without feeling stressed about time and about money. Yeah? So what I would suggest for your listeners or viewers today is to make a list. Just randomly sit with a piece of paper and write, what would you like to see from your future life? What is one small thing that you want to activate? Do you want to go to a mosaic class? Then go to a mosaic class. Go for a fun crafting day, or start investigating cryptocurrency if that's what you're interested in, or start looking at miniature courses online, things that really light you up. When you bring about the balance in your life, the areas, the horrible, the heavy stuff kind of just falls away, or it seems less, because you know it's like a seesaw. So you're bringing up the one side, which is the joy factor, and then the heaviness isn't way down so much. You get this beautiful balancing act going on. So spending time creating future imagined realities is super important going forward.
Wow. That is quite, I don't think a lot, and to your point, I don't think a lot of people focus on creating that future life for them. Some people cannot see beyond that, right? Because they are so, listen, I'm not saying everyone's like this, but I think a lot of people's reality is so stressed, and, they don't have balance, and they don't have, the one common statement that gets made to a lot of people that I don't have time.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh,
or the word busy, I'm too busy.
yes.
Or I can't get to this because of that. Or it's that they call it that rat race. Gauteng is known for the rat race, right? But I think people, again, going back to the pandemic, I think a lot of people have started questioning themselves right now because of the pandemic has made them think about what's important. Where do I spend my time? And what am I spending on my time in? And is it important? And does it help me for my future going forward? Because let's be honest, most people spend their time just supporting others, or they would just, do things for their partners, or they'll do things for the sake of doing it and not realizing if it is contributing or if that's what they want. I had a lot of people questioning those type of things, I would say, in the last year.
Yeah, and we've been deeply, deeply, deeply programmed as well
Yeah.
all our lives, and especially sort of, I would say, the type of women that I see from the late 30s to, mid 50s, their conditioning is deep,
Yeah.
giving themselves permission to step into their true selves. They're all for allowing their children to step into their true selves, doing what what lights them up, making sure their partners are happy. But when it comes
Yeah.
to their own stuff, it's like being busy is about hiding from that
Yeah.
fact, actually. The more busy
Yeah.
you get, the less opportunity you have to start feeling that discomfort and I hate my life and I need to definitely change something. Getting busy helps to numb that a little bit. So that's why
Yeah.
people who tell me they're super busy, I'm going like, I've been there, chick. I know all about it. Keep yourself busy. It's okay, because at some point you're going to hit the wall and go,
Yeah.
what is this my life? Really?
Yeah.
Is it my life? And the more you can open up and start visualizing things that you like, enjoy, people will come across your path and invite you in. How
Yeah.
else is the universe going to bring you the right way to go, the thing that you deeply desire, except through connection with people, through your networks, through groups of tribes that you meet.
Yeah.
Follow the inspiration always, because it's your inner self telling you, go this way. I'm telling you, go this way. Your little GPS is going beep, beep, beep. You turn now, you turn now. You've got to go this way. So yeah, all you have to do is, there's that lovely analogy that says, when you get into the car, what's the first thing you do with your GPS? You program the destination. And then it doesn't matter what route you take, because your GPS will always bring you back to the destination. You can take a left turn in the wrong place. Your
Okay.
inner self will bring you to that destination. If you make it important enough to your brain, you can work together. So we're talking woo-woo and we talk brain. So when we're talking about the brain, if you make something important to your brain by frequently touching on it or visually having it in front of you, and this is why so many people believe in vision boards, is you've made it important to your brain, and it will do everything in its power to bring it forward to you. Your brain is always working with you too, sometimes against you, but most of the time for you. And that's why it's critical that you always hold the vision of the thing that you want in front of you, and even speak it into being. Even say the words coming out your mouth so your brain can hear that you're making progress with this. That's the reticular activating system, which is part of the mind, that you can activate anytime you want to make it important. I'll give you a real stupid example. You have a desire for a certain car, and just say, for instance, it's a whatever. What's the car that you want, that you
For
desire?
me,
Yeah.
I'm not pick. I don't
Okay.
know, an Audi.
Okay. So if that is something that you really want and it's really lit up something inside you, you're going to start noticing all the Audis on the road.
Yes, I do.
That's your brain working for you. So you can activate that. You can hack the brain to bring forward the things that you want by constantly having that vision in front of you. So screensavers on your phone, little pictures here and there, whatever it is, just to go, oh yes, I'm working towards that. And then whatever comes into your existence that's going to take you closer to that, your brain's going to go, hello, here it is, watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's Anna-Marie sharing something with you. Let's just have a look here quickly. Can you see those comments at the bottom?
That's amazing. That's amazing, because I know how long it takes to be a practicing clinical psychologist.
Anna-Marie, I guess that's why you are writing those exams. She and I were having a chat the other day.
Yes.
And she's working really hard towards this dream that she's clearly envisioned for herself, right? And Anna-Marie, I have no doubt in my mind that you are definitely going to do it, and definitely going to be there for the people that you wanting to help in the Western and the Northern Cape. So I'm supposing, I'm taking it that you're going to be moving to the Western and in Northern Cape.
Woo!
She's in Pretoria, so interesting.
Yeah. See you in Cape Town in 5 years' time.
Yeah, well done, Anna Marie. She's really, really, what a strong woman. Absolutely strong woman. I mean, at that age to study, and you've already got your vision in place, you're already seeing yourself there, helping, the people in the rural areas as well. So well done, Anna Marie.
Hats
Yeah.
off. It's not easy, but when you are going to engage in something that lights you up, it becomes easy. I started studying kinesiology in 2015, and I thought, I'm going to give it a year, and then I went on to second year, and then I went on to third year, and then I went on to fourth year. So I've got some advanced diploma work done as well. And once you really enjoy something, you motor through it. You motor. It's not like school, because that's the connotation that everybody has. They've got their frame of reference is school or immediately after school, university or tech, or whatever it is. That it's seriously hard work. But when later in life, it's nice because you choose something that works for you, that lights you up. You started, and it's like this momentum. You can't stop. You carry on.
Yeah.
So went from diploma in kinesiology, advanced diploma in kinesiology, to diploma in herbal medicine, went to diploma in hypnotherapy. What else is more depressing?
You went down that rabbit hole.
I went down that rabbit hole, girlfriend. It's when you love something, you can't help yourself. It's like you have to do it, because if you don't do it, the people who are meant to be guided by you lose out. They lose out.
Wow.
So I really feel like I've stepped into those beautiful, comfortable socks and shoes of the guide, mentor, and role model for other people, and so I'm enjoying my life so much.
Wow. Liza, thank you so much. Any final departing words for our audience? I have put a few notes in the chat for them. Any last words from yourself?
If you can just take from tomorrow one step towards the dream that you have or an idea that you have, you will already be 10,000 steps ahead of everybody else. If you can just take one action towards that, it doesn't have to be a major action. I can just be imagining, visualizing for 2 minutes. That's all. Just to start living the life of your dreams, and know that it's not going to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. The way to your true self is to go through discomfort and sometimes cry. But you get to a point where you strip away all that stuff that isn't meant for you to expose that beautiful, amazing awesomeness that you are. So take that one step, start shedding your skin, and you'll be okay. We all see you here, just be.
Anne-Marie says, thank you so much for an inspirational hour. Thank you so much for joining us, Anne-Marie. I do appreciate it. Liza, thank you so much for your kind words and sharing, what you've gone through in that space of time, and obviously soaring at new adventures coming through for yourself as well. So looking forward to hearing from you and all your exciting adventures that's going to be presenting, and some of the things that you're going to be, going through in life as well. And yes, we're always in touch. So I just want to say thank you so much. And guys, have a look at the chat. Please share the chat as well through your networking so that we can get this out. Liza has put in her details of her organization as well in the group chat. You guys will be able, if you want to look at a human design from her, if you guys want to see what she's all about in terms of marketing and branding, she's got her links in the chat. Please contact her. She is more than willing to help you guys, and she's a fantastic human being, as you can see.
Thank you, Shishni, as are you. Oh my God. There's a group of people, and we call ourselves the queen shit, and you are the queen shit, baby.
I'm honored. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, it's been quite a remarkable year. I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful for all the storytellers that have come through Open Mic this year. You asked me earlier, we've had 30 storytellers for 2021. We've had from 5 different countries that has presented their stories, and I'm so grateful to have shared 2021 to the world, and bringing yourself and the other storytellers through. It's been such a pleasure having people on, but it's also such a gift just hearing people and their stories and what they've gone through. I myself have grown so much this year just hearing people's stories. As much as I'm hosting you guys, I'm learning so much from each and every one of the people that come into Open Mic. And hopefully, next year is going to be so much of changes coming through, because we're working on so many different, projects and things that's coming through. So I am really looking forward to 2022. So I just want to say thank you, everyone. And thank you so much for taking the time out. It's been a great day and a great year for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like I need to say Happy New Year, but not yet.
No, not at all. Not at all. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the talk today. Please subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Look out, it's Open Mic's Foundation's birthday next week. There's going to be a lot of clips. There's a launch next week as well. a birthday celebration. So there's going to be lots of videos coming through and streaming through. So take care, everyone, and looking forward to seeing you guys in 2022. Cheers,
Bye.
everyone.